Hey guys, welcome back to another skin health reversal video, and today I want to talk about grains and address the question of if you're trying to reverse your skin health, if you're trying to overcome your psoriasis or eczema, should you be eating grains? And the way I want to start this off is by saying that if you are trying to reverse your skin health, the first place you want to turn to is your gut health. And in order to reverse your gut health, your best ticket, the ticket to making that happen as fast as possible, is keeping things as simple as possible and focusing on the things that your body needs. What does your body need to nourish yourself rather than thinking about your emotional wants? And I do think that fulfilling all of your physical and emotional needs with food is going to be a big part of you developing a sustainable plan for you. But especially in the early phases, it's best to keep things as simple as possible. And in my opinion, I do not think that grains are an essential food for anyone. I don't think anybody needs to eat grains to survive. Now, I think somebody who has a well-functioning digestive system can handle grains in certain amounts and in varying amounts depending on the individual. Okay, so if you're in the early stages of your healing process, you want to focus on the foods that fall within what I call the primal framework. Like I said, you want to keep things as simple as possible, and what I mean by simple is sticking within this primal framework. So, in a nutshell, what the framework consists of is ruminant meats, so things like beef, lamb, bison, fish, chicken, eggs, fruits, vegetables, tubers, so potatoes, sweet potatoes, raw local honey. So if you contact a local bee farmer, they're all over the world, really easy to find some good quality local honey. And then raw dairy, if you can get your hands on it. So things like raw milk, raw yogurt, raw butter. I wouldn't jump to drinking store-bought milk or yogurt. Maybe somebody might want to experiment with that down the road, but I'd definitely stay away from that for now. But the raw butter is something that, or not necessarily raw, but store-bought grass-fed butter, I think most people can get away with. But when it comes to the dairy, I think it's very important that you get it straight from the source, straight from the farm. I think a lot of the dairy issues that people are dealing with today have a lot to do with the sourcing and the pasteurization process. But that's a video for another day. And essentially, these foods within the primal framework are foods that human beings have been eating for a very, very long time and fulfill our essential nutritional needs. And humans have also been eating grains for a very long time as well. But I think for the sake of simplicity and for the sake of your digestive system performing optimally when it's not in the best state, you should stay away from grains in the early phases, and then it's something that you could introduce as time goes on. Like for me, for instance, when I was going through my three-phase gut health reversal process, I stayed away from grains for a long time. Nowadays, I do have some occasional grains. They're not necessarily a staple food in my diet. I don't eat a ton of them, but I do eat grains from time to time, and I'm not afraid of them. Like I said, I don't consider them a staple. I don't eat them all the time, but I'm not afraid of them, and I do have grains, maybe once a week, and maybe not even always once a week. Sometimes it's just once a month, whenever I'm feeling like it. And as with anything, as with any food that you're putting into your body, whether it be meat, vegetables, or grains, quality is going to be of the utmost importance, and quality is going to be a big determining factor in how your body digests it and how you handle it. So, like I said, I don't eat a ton of grains. Actually, right now, I'm kind of going through a little process where I'm adding more grains than I was before and kind of seeing how I react to it. But when I do eat grains, I make sure that it's the best quality stuff that I can find. Whether you're eating oats, bread, rice, buckwheat, whatever you're eating, whatever kind of grain you're eating, I would just suggest that if you're going to experiment with it and see how it works for you, get the best quality stuff that you can possibly find. So me personally, when I do say, all right, I'm going to have some grains today, maybe I'll have a couple pieces of bread with my eggs, or maybe I'll have some rice with some fish, or maybe some oats as kind of like a dessert thing at the end of the day. If I'm going to have some grains, I go for quality. And when it comes to bread, I think I've found that I do much better with sprouted grains. So I don't know if all you guys have heard of sprouted grains, but look it up. There's some good brands out there. Ezekiel bread is one of them. I think one is Angel. and there's a couple other ones that their names are kind of escaping me right now, but sprouted grains are typically much easier to digest than your typical bread that you get at the store. So if you're gonna add in some grains, some bread, I would definitely suggest going for sprouted grains. Or sometimes I'll have just some fresh baked sourdough from a local bakery. Look at their ingredients, see what they got into it. And if I eat sourdough from a local bakery, I usually do just fine with it. So when it comes to bread, I go for sprouted grains. I'd suggest a lot of you guys do the same thing. When it comes to rice, whether it's brown rice or white rice, sometimes, like I said, I like to have it with fish. Just get the best quality stuff you can. Get some good organic rice, whatever kind of rice you want, and be sure to read your body, read your health indicators, and let them tell you how your body's reacting to it. If you eat some rice one day with your meat or fish or whatever, and you start to feel a little bit bloated, or when you go to the bathroom the next day it's not optimal, that might be a sign that you're not ready for grains, or maybe just grains aren't in the cards for you. Maybe you're just better off getting your carbs from other sources, which in general I think most people are going to be better off getting their carbs from other sources, things like raw milk, honey, tubers, fruits, things like that. And the last way I kind of eat grains, there's really only 3 grains I eat. The last one is oats. And I've kind of been eating a little bit more oats than I typically do as of late, but it's just a good dessert thing I like to have. I'll cook up a little bowl of oats, put some blueberries in there, a little bit of honey, and call it a day. So I don't really mess around with much of the barley or millet or any of that stuff. I really just kind of stick to sprouted grain bread, some rice, and oats. And what I've found is all those foods work pretty well for me. If I eat too many of them and I go overboard with the grains, it will bother me. It will throw my digestion off. But like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I'm not afraid of grains. And if you're someone watching this video trying to reverse the state of your skin health and overcome your psoriasis or eczema, stay away from grains for right now. I would stay away from the grains, and if you're going to have them, as with anything, don't feel bad about it. But if you're going to have them, go about it like I've gone about it, and figure out the best quality stuff you can get, and read your health indicators when you do eat it, and try to understand how it's affecting you. That is the absolute key to reversing your skin symptoms and ultimately figuring out a sustainable approach for you. It's reading your health indicators. Your energy, sleep, digestion, how you're going to the bathroom, libido, all these things are what are going to tell you, if you're heading in the right direction with the diet and the things that you're doing in your natural health regimen. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys. As I'm just shooting this short video here, the sun's going down, and I just noticed my screen is getting really dark here. But as always, I want you guys to go back, check out some of my old content. I'm posting all the time on Instagram, making new videos all the time. So go through my old content, keep up with my new stuff, and please reach out with questions if you guys have them. I understand that this whole skin health reversal process is it's difficult. It's very difficult, and it's very difficult to sift through on your own. So if you guys are going through this content, you have questions about things, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. So like I said, all I got for you guys. I'll see you in the next video.